Okay, let's look at the release notes for version 4.8. So this is a pretty big one, so to save everyone's time, I'm going to go through most of these items pretty quickly to spend time on the more detailed ones. So a bunch of portal updates. So the first one is the primary domain change and secondary domain change, or to delete domains. So in your portal, when you go into editor site settings under the domains tab, we'll be able to mark a second domain as primary and delete a domain. Then we've got live and trial site search options. So when in our trial sites list and our live sites list, we have a search box at the top here now. So that's going to make things a lot easier, especially once you start getting more and more sites active. Then we've got the ability to sort by the columns. Again, in the trial sites and live sites list, we can sort by the column headings now. So particularly handy for like the plan, if you want to look at all your e-commerce plans, or the expiry dates, or by name, of course. Then we have site activation improvements. So first off, we have the ability to tick whether the site's going to use the www subdomain. So I'm assuming that now negates the need to contact support to get that redirect happening. So this can now be selected when you go live with the site. They've also removed the site type step altogether, and the whole name server checking is automatic, and you can skip past that as well, straight to just to add the A records, which makes all that whole process a lot quicker and smoother. We're also able to view our invoices now. So under My Invoices, you see a list of all your sites, and the ability to email that invoice to yourself or download the PDF. And of course, we've got the all the password updates. So the first thing noted here with the portal is the ability to recover or reset your password. So it's here. So on the portal login page, we now have the forgot password workflow. And then as into the backlog items, so single sign-on has been introduced. So again, with that comes switch the password reset option as well for the admin login. And so basically just saying here that once you have signed into that single sign-on service provider, it will then recognize you and automatically log you into any other site. An email was sent out. I'm sure everyone's aware of this now, but all the existing admins need to go through this process to reset their password and sign on to the single sign-on service, so that it then recognizes them in the system. So you can do that by re-inviting any admin. So in the admin list, there'll be a little re-invite button you can click. That will shoot them out an email to reset their password. And likewise, when creating a new admin, they'll be invited through that new single sign-on process. Which leads to two new system emails. So we have the invite admin user system email and the restore admin user password system email. So, sorry, under email notifications, system emails. So we have these ones here: invite admin user and restore admin user password. So they've been set up with a little bit of styling and structure, sort of in the Treepl look and feel, but of course you can go in and edit those however you wish. One thing I noticed was that they've been assigned to the system default template automatically. So if you've already edited your system default template, with a template, then this email will be stuck inside that template, which probably will look a bit odd because this email has been designed to be a self-contained unit. So you may want to, I would probably would have been better if this had just not been assigned to a template at all. So don't use template. If you've already got a system template in place, a custom one. So just be aware of that. Also, it's set with the trustedemail.co email, so you may want to change who that comes from, whether it's the client or yourself. So I had a few sort of spam issues related to this with some customers, but overall seemed to be okay. Okay, and also a single sign-on, just the ability to delete an admin user. So again, that takes them out of that single sign-on process. Okay, and now on to eCommerce updates. So just had some plan restriction changes as well with the eCommerce stuff. So obviously they're renaming the Pro Plus plan to just eCommerce, so that's going to be the new eCommerce plan. And basically most of the eCommerce stuff is going to be available for the eCommerce plan, but also just looking here, the payable events, payable items and payments via forms will be available in the Pro plan. And just noting here that there's some restriction changes as well to, like, customizable columns are going to be available in the business plan, and future API integrations in the business plan as well. And obviously you're going to be able to set up payment gateways for the Pro plan as well, because you can take event payments and form payments and stuff. And then there's under at the beta setting, some options to set the currency and number formatting. So I think this specifically relates to like e-commerce orders. So if you go to the beta features, so there's this new option here, currency and format settings. Now I was having a bit of trouble with this. This feature here was disappearing every time I refresh this page or save this. This whole item would just disappear, so you couldn't turn it back off unless you sort of closed out of this and went back through your portal, back through the admin link, and sort of signed back on to the site. It would show for the first time, but if you refresh the page, this disappears again. So it might be a little bug there, but just if anyone notices that happening, just close down, come back to the site through your admin link in the portal, and you should see it there for at least for the first load. So once that's activated, under settings, under the payment gateway section, this currency and format tab will appear. So it's moved out of the gateway section, and you'll be able to set up a whole range of defaults for whatever country formats you want to do. So you can add in for US or Australian and set the currency that you need. So the next item here is just talking about that, what I just went through there, the currency format tab in the payment gateway section. So that's a new section. It goes through all the details on what you can create there. So the default format settings, just saying there's a default loaded in there already. It's based on the US currency. So we've got some more extend domain settings by currency and price format and country. So if you're doing a multi-currency site, or even just need to adjust it, under the domains you add to the site, when you go to domains, you can now change the default currency format that's being used. So you can select out of the ones you created back in that payment gateway section. So they'll be listed here and you can change that. and also change the country, so you can select whichever country that should be applied for based on the domain. So if you have multiple domains, they could all be different because they're the domains you use for accessing that country level site, which obviously will later tie into all the product pricing and things like that. So we've got format rules for format settings. So I couldn't actually find where this was being applied. It's saying that display dates in the admin using the default domain format setting. So obviously, again, with how you set up the domain defaults and the numbering formats, that it will display the dates like that as well. And obviously, we need that. Say, if you're looking at pages, I think, or any module list where it's got like the release date or something, the date should be formatted in your local date format. But I couldn't see where that was being applied. So I think it's actually just referring to e-commerce orders. So it might only be for the orders when they come in at the dates formatted as per the country, the domain that order was purchased on. So it might not be through the entire admin yet. So I think this is only referring to e-commerce stuff. Save domain currency and number format settings to the order. So it's just saying that it will save the currency and number formatting per order. So even if you later change that, that's locked in with the order at that time. So orders in the admin list and detail view modification. Use save currency format in the orders to display the orders. Yeah, so again, it's just saying it's going to use the number formatting that was saved with the order based on what country setting it was. So there have been some changes to the invoice system email. So again, it's just introducing all that currency settings and default country number formatting. So I think we've got some extra tags in there to do all that. So now we also have some new liquid filters because of this numbering. So we can use something like domain number format, which will format the number based on the domain you're at and what settings that domain has. So you can display numbers differently based on the country that the user's coming from, if the domains are set up like that. And also domain money format, so the number format and the money format. So you can apply that to your numbers. Okay, and now we actually have access to the e-commerce taxes page. So all the e-commerce stuff that's now there, we can go into these and start adding new tax options and shipping options, gift vouchers, discount codes, all that sort of stuff. You can start adding those in now by the look of it. So it's just going through all those and all the options you have. So that was discount codes, gift vouchers, set those up. And just saying here there's a gift voucher system email, so that's a new system email that we can go in and modify. We have e-commerce shipping options page, so that's the shipping options. So pretty much from what I can see, it's all pretty much identical to BC, which is good for now. Okay, and then we just have a miscellaneous item here for the image processor fix. So basically, when you're adding items to the like the file manager, I don't think I have any images in this test site, but if you're uploading a replacement image, because of the image processing cache, the heavy caching that it would do, it wouldn't show the updated image. So they've fixed all that now, so that when you remove or upload a replacement image, it will clear the cache and show you the new image. So that had a little test of that. It's working much better now. Export functionality redo. So it's just saying the export will not open in a new tab now. Okay. And then just a few bugs to finish off here. We had a bug in the file manager. Just, it looks like when you're opening fairly long files of code, there'd be a bug there. So that's fixed. And it says workflow doesn't work on the business plan. So I'm not sure what exactly that is, but looks like that's fixed. And there was just a bug with the liquid capitalize filter. It was actually doing a title case filter rather than a capitalize. So now we actually have both capitalize and title case filters. Which I think the link there will go to the Shopify details on using that. Okay, so that was the version 4.8 release review. Lots of good stuff for e-commerce coming. Thank you.